Hi everyone, I'm back. I have something that is very important to me at the moment. This is little Alfie. Alfie is a rescue dog who had a really tough break in life, and eventually he was adopted by Elaine Faithful. But now little Alfie has a lot of trouble walking. He has a condition in his hind legs that need an operation, and well, I guess it's a little different in the USA than it is here in Holland. Here you can just insure your pet, and then when he has to have a operation, you know, it's covered by the insurance. But I guess you guys don't have that over there, and the cost of operating on an animal is, wow, that is a lot of money over there. So I heard about Alfie, and it really, you know, it just tugs on my heartstrings that a little guy like this who'd like to run around and be playful because he's found his, you know, little house forever, that he can't do that. So I would like to ask you guys, if you have a couple of bucks, you know, if everyone that watched this video did $2, we'd be there. He could be operated on and he could run around and be the little dog he really wants to be. So if you have it in your heart to help little Alfie, I'm gonna be doing my donation this afternoon. It's GoFundMe, and you can find this project if you type in Elaine Faithful, or if you type in Help Alfie Walk again. It's this little critter here with these cute little bulging eyes, little ears, and I would just, you know, just love it if we could just make this happen and, you know, help Elaine out. You know, we don't have to get all the money together. I'm sure Elaine isn't expecting us to, you know, do that really fast. But if we could just, you know, together we could help just get this on the way, that would be grateful. And another thing, guys, I'm not doing this. When I do something like this, I have to be absolutely sure this is legit. And that's what I said to Elaine. I said, I'd like to do a shout out, but you gotta give me the name of your vet, the address, you gotta give me that. And this is legit. I promise you it is. There's nothing that is, you know, dodgy about this. This is it. She said, you know, if people don't trust this, they can, you know, donate straight to the vet. He will take the donations, no problem whatsoever. But we can do the GoFundMe, and this is easy to find. Like I said, Elaine Faithful or Help Alfie Walk again, and you can just donate anything you want, and I'm sure we can help her on her way. So thanks from the bottom of my heart, and let's get this little guy jumping around again. Thank you all. Okay guys, we're gonna do a little pour, and I thought I'd do some bright colors, something that makes you happy. The weather here is kind of, well, like autumn. A lot of rain, a lot of clouds. Not too cold though, so that's good. Oh, and the update on my ducks, I have 3 at the moment, so they just come and go as they please. And this morning, oh no, yesterday, they came with 3 of them. And at the moment, they're gone again, and they'll come back, I think, later today. They sleep in my garden. I think they like it. I think they feel that it's safe. So that's the update on our little critters. Now, I have mixed up my paint, and I know people always ask, what are the colors? But this is Winsor & Newton Galleria. And if you pull up the chart, if you Google it, all you have to do is type in Winsor & Newton Galleria color chart, and then you find the colors. Now I have both yellows, the cadmium yellows, I have titanium white, I have the orange, and I have the red. And these colors I'm gonna put into this cup, and we're gonna do a nice little pour with them. I still have to finish off my beach scene that I did last weekend, so you still have that coming up. And I'm not sure I'm gonna do that today because I am a little bit under the weather. I was kind of sick on Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday I felt a little bit better, and then Thursday I went back to work. Then yesterday I had a sort of a team thing with my team at work. We went out and had dinner, which was a lot of fun, but I came home a little late and I was really feeling, you know, kind of sick. But sometimes you have to push through stuff like that, because otherwise you miss out on too many things. And I'm sure you all understand what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta do it. So what I'm doing is pouring it in the cup from up high. And why I do that is because then it mixes through. And as you can see, if I hold it up really high and pour it in, see how that mixes straight through? And if you just lay it on top like this, really close, you will just put it on top. So sometimes you want to mix that. I have a 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. I think that calculates to something like 6 or 7 inches square. And I use about 160 milliliters of paint, because this is 180, so I think this is 160. But you know, you can go on from there if you want to calculate it. Gonna turn it on the top. Don't want to wait too long and pull it back. So we're gonna let it come out like that. Now, as you can see how thick it is, because it doesn't just come off the canvas. And I still have a lot of people that say, you know, I do not get cells. But you don't want to wait too long before you start to torch. If you wait too long, then the silicone that's in your mix will already be on the surface, and then torching won't do really not that much. Now, as you can see, I'm starting to swirl it around a little, and as I do that, the cells become a little bit bigger, and I really like what's going on there. So I'm gonna let it come down there and here over the corner, and then I'm gonna let it come down this way and come down here. Now I want to talk to you guys about what I'm doing right now, because as you can see, now the cells are really big, and some people think that that's what has to come out of the cup straight away. Well, that is not the case. So let me get a piece of paper for my hands on my cloth here. That's okay. And let's talk about this, because some people are very disappointed when they pick up that cup and there's only those little cells when they have torched it. But the bigger you want your cells, you'll have to be doing something with the tilting to make it bigger. Now, I do have a lot of bubbles in my paint this morning, and I really don't have a clue why that's happening. And I'm really moving this torch because I don't want it to form a skin on the paint. That's another thing that might be happening if your paint is cracking, because if you torch it too much, you will be forming a skin over the surface. Then, because all the paint underneath is totally wet, when it starts to dry, it will slowly give tension to the dried surface, and eventually it'll just, you know, give those cracks. So that could be something that you're doing that is making those cracks appear. So that's what you don't want to have. Now, as you can see, the cells are pretty big, and that's because I release the paint, I let it flatten out a bit, I torch it, then I tilt it. Now if I were to do it the other way around, so release the paint, tilt to make sure that all the canvas is filled, and then torch it, the cells would be smaller. So keep that in mind when you're going to do your pouring, because that's important. Also, the thickness of the paint pretty much determines how big your cells are going to be, because the thicker the paint, the more tension there is for, you know, that silicone wants to pop up. And if the paint is too thick, then it'll have too much tension, so it won't be able to really spread out that big. And if your paint is too thin, well, you can fill that in, you know. You just have to experiment. And there isn't really a real recipe in how you do this, how you mix it. It's not about that. It's all about just having your paint, and of course I always use sort of good quality paint. I'm not using professional artist quality acrylics, the ones where you paint with. That I'm not using because, well, first off, it's way too expensive to do that. And I know most people, you know, they just pour with this type of paint. So it's either the Vallejo Fluid, or it's the Winsor & Newton, the Liquitex Basics. Anything that is used to, you can, I think you call it student paint or studio paint, something like that. That's perfect. You can work with that. Okay, so this one is ready. And I think it's nice and bright and cheerful, and I think I did a good job on it. I'm satisfied. Sometimes you just have to be satisfied with what you make. Now, if you don't like it, and of course there will be people that don't like it, what you could do is, of course, add something to it. I might like a really little bit of shimmer. I kind of like that. So, almost couldn't find my glitters. Now, I want something that really matches, and I think I'll go for like something like this. I like this color. This is not really bronze, it's more orangey bronze color. So what I want to do is put it in the palm of my hand, just a little bit. And from a distance, I'm going to blow over it. That's it. Let's see, I got everything there. Down here, not so much. So I'm going to put a little more on. And I have a little bit down there. Now, you almost don't notice it. But when well, on the monitor, you can't pick it up. Maybe when it's dry. But I can see it, and it has beautiful orange shimmer in it. So I think that just adds to the painting, just a little bit, just to give it that little bit more of a glitzy thing. And that makes it, for me, it makes it perfect. Okay, guys. Oh, I do want to thank all the sponsors. Here we go. In the beginning of this video, I have the GoFundMe for Little Alfie. Guys, if you want to donate, and you know, I totally understand. Some people, you know, you just have a couple of dollars and you don't want to do this, give it to Alfie. I say do it, please do it. Let's help Alfie get his operation so that he can be a happy little puppy that he wants to be. Okay? So thanks, and let's make that happen for Elaine. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I think I'm going to go and lay down on the couch and watch some TV because that's what I really feel like now. And I hope that I'll be back tomorrow, and I will do a lot of pouring tomorrow. So thanks all, and love you, really love you all to pieces. Liebe euch alle, and ik hou voor jullie allemaal, and I will see you in the next video. Make some beautiful art. Bye bye.